All right, good afternoon and welcome to the Mavs Edge Student Intern Panel. Thank you all for joining us today. I'm David Powers, the Assistant Director of Internships here in the Career Development Center. We're excited about the group of panelists who've agreed to join us this afternoon. Thank you all for giving us your time. I know that everyone is going to benefit from hearing about your experience. Students, you can begin sending questions to the panel at any time by using the chat or questions to the group by using the chat. We will get to a point where we ask for student questions. If you'd like to unmute and turn on your camera, you're welcome to ask that question live and in person if you would prefer to ask it that way. Please remain muted and with your camera off until that time. And like I said, we will address student questions near the end. Before we get started and hear from our panelists, I have a few quick announcements, things I want to make you aware of if you are currently internship searching. We are assuming if you're here or you're watching this that you are looking for and interested in internships. We have a great list of events and services that I've shared with you in the chat section, so please take a moment to visit the chat and save that information. I'd like to quickly highlight a few upcoming events on the calendar. On Thursday, October the 27th, wow, that's tomorrow. Where did October go? From 1:30 to 2:30, we're going to have GM Financial with us for one of our Teams Talks events. We're going to be talking about networking for people who hate networking. And that does not apply probably to anybody on the panel. Maybe we can ask that question in just a moment. And then on November the 3rd, we're going to have Lane Gorman Trubit with us. And they're going to be talking about branding yourself, and how to best present yourself to employers. So really excited about that conversation as well. We encourage you to follow us on our CDC LinkedIn Spotlight page. Our followers are growing and we are loving it. I think the LinkedIn site is now the largest platform in the Career Center. You're going to find all kinds of information regarding job opportunities, tips for obtaining internships, event information, intros to our new Edge partners, all kinds of cool stuff that we're posting on LinkedIn. And you can see a full list of CDC events and services by visiting the events tabs in the website. Visit the website for a full list. You'll also see a lot of our events in Handshake. Hopefully you're seeing Handshake emails. They come to you weekly. And a lot of great information in terms of what we have going on and access to employers there. Last thing I'd like to mention to keep you updated on recent internship happenings and opportunities, partnerships. We now have a weekly distribution list that we're sending to students. Internship opportunities, as I said, if you miss events, we're going to have event recordings there, contact information for some of our employers who are looking for interns. If you'd like to join that distribution list, you can do so using the information in the chat. We have a link provided and also a QR code that you can scan. Every Wednesday, you'll receive an email update. So this afternoon, we can get you set up. Enough about us. I'm excited to talk to the panelists. Let's meet folks. Let's meet the panelists. Let's start. We'll run through in alphabetical order. Ayesha, would you please introduce yourself, please?
Hi there, my name is Ayesha Shaji. I am a psychology and journalism senior. I'll be graduating in December, yay. And I did my internship at Dallas Business Journal through Dow Jones News Fund in the summer.
Thank you. Cindy.
Hello, y'all. My name is Cindy Cruz-Rodriguez. I'm an industrial engineering major, graduating May 2023. And I actually have done a couple of internships, but I'm here to talk about my General Motors internship as a manufacturing quality intern. So I'm excited to share that.
See, Cindy, that's probably why I said you've been a busy woman, because you've had a couple. You've had a couple of internships. So we would love to hear if you guys have had multiple roles. We'd love to hear some comparisons about what that search process was like, interview process was like. I think that's really helpful for students. And bringing us home, Sajan, please.
Hi, so my name's Sajan. I'm a senior majoring in information systems. I actually graduated in December as well. And I currently hold an internship in cybersecurity at Range Resources. And this is actually my first official internship. I've had part-time jobs before this, but that's the internship I'm going to be talking about today.
Thank you. Both Range Resources, I know, and Dow Jones are Edge partners. excited to have that partnership. Grateful for that opportunity. I know we also have GM Financial as an Edge partner. We would love to have General Motors as well. You know, Cindy, if you got any hookups or any contacts, I'm happy to follow up with those folks. But we just want to thank those folks again publicly for their support of UTA students and bringing students on board. Ayesha, I'm going to come back to you, and I would like for you all to each talk a little more about just your experience in general, some of the kinds of projects that you got involved in, what the opportunity was like at your different sites, please.
So my internship was over the summer and I covered, so in journalism we have beats, which is basically topics, and I did minority and Black-owned businesses. And so I was able to work with a lot of like organizations in DFW and get to know a lot of people and businesses and the struggles they're facing currently in the market and stuff like that. And so it was very, 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 very helpful to know the field and know the DFW market currently. But not only that, I was able to experience like business reporting in particular, because there are lots of kind of reporting, and then I was not aware, I was not familiar with business reporting. So it made me, it opened a new avenue for me, and it taught me a lot of stuff. Also, the connection that I gained from there was amazing. Through the Dow Jones program, they have a lot of mentors for you. So that was really helpful, and I still am in touch with them, most of them like till date. So it has helped me a lot in my like job search and like just getting to know, meet more people and know more people on the market. So that's been really helpful. So I had a really good experience with Dallas Business Journal.
Thank you, Cindy.
Yes. So I actually want to share a little bit about myself real quick as a backstory. I've pretty much stayed in Texas as far as the United States for most of my life that I've been in this country. And I actually did my internship in Lansing Delta Township. So that's a plant in Lansing, Michigan. And that was actually one of my first experiences living by myself and, putting myself out there. So I'm really appreciative of General Motors giving me that opportunity. So I did get to interview with a couple of plants, but I actually, no thought process behind, I actually picked the plant that was farthest from Texas because I really wanted to put myself out there. So I actually ended up signing up for a manufacturing quality role. And what I really like about quality, and especially General Motors, it's a big emphasis on safety. If you go on the production floor at any point, you'll see safety signs everywhere, and people do remind you of that. So I think that's something that really stood out, especially for General Motors and my internship itself. So I think that the way that I would describe this internship is really fast paced, but really positive and collaborative. And I think that that's what makes it so beneficial. And, the amount of knowledge that you gain in just 3 months is just amazing. Like by far, General Motors has been one of my favorite places to be at.
Curious. I know something I learned when I moved from Kentucky to Texas in 2018, that Texas folks are really proud to be from Texas. Cindy, right? Or you say you're a Texas native?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I was born in Texas, but I was actually raised in Mexico, so I learned Spanish first,
Oh,
then
wow.
came back into the country. So
Okay, so give me a quick comparison of Michigan
all
to
right.
Texas.
So I think for me, the first thing that I noticed just on my first day was I ended up going to work an hour early because I thought the traffic was going to be bad, because typically traffic here in DFW is horrible. So I ended up being there an hour early, and I just waited in the parking lot and I talked to my mom on the phone.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
and the time difference, I was just about to mention that the time difference is a lot. Like it took me a long time to get adjusted to that because I would wake up earlier than I had to.
Michigan, they're on Eastern time, fast time, Eastern time zone,
Yes,
hour
Eastern,
ahead.
hour
Yeah,
ahead, yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I was in a really weird schedule because I was working first shift, so I had to be at the plant at 6:30, but I got to leave at 3. So then I would wake up at 5:30, thinking that like I had to be already there.
I mean, small things like that. you learn so many things. You learn how little small things like that can impact your day, right? Impact your career selection, impact, where you decide to live. So a lot of just, for some folks, what might seem like insignificant kinds of things, a time change like that, yeah, it can make a big difference. So, it's, picking up, you're going to pick up things that you didn't realize you'd pick up, from your experience. So thanks for sharing that. Sajan, I know that's probably the second time I have not pronounced your name correctly, and I'm going to write it phonetically, so I make sure shouldn't be that difficult. I'm notorious. Ayesha knows I'm notorious for mispronouncing names. Could you give it to me one more time?
It's Sajan.
Sajan.
Yes.
I got you. Okay.
No worries. So kind of also bouncing off of how Cindy introduced it. So a little bit about myself. So I was actually a management marketing major before I was an information systems major. And I switched, I want to say, halfway throughout the whole COVID scene, when my mom actually got a job within the IT field. She went back into the field, and really it showed me how much it's changed ever since she left. And so it really interested me. And I've always been someone who really liked technology, really liked dealing with computers, really liked programming and stuff like that. And so I found out, information systems was an option within the College of Business. And really, once I switched, I started to look for a lot of internship positions within software engineering, programming, cybersecurity, audit, compliance, stuff like that. And I stumbled upon the cybersecurity internship with Range, and really interested me when I read the job description, and I had the chance to talk to one of the recruiters and the IT manager. Really was completely brand new to the space, but they really brought me in, taught me everything that I needed to know, and really just expanded my knowledge in the cybersecurity field. So kind of what I do on a day-to-day task. So I'm actually working from home right now as we speak. So kind of what I do from day to day. So right now we're in the midst of auditing season for most public companies. And so we I and my manager work very closely with the auditors, EY specifically, to really, test our controls and our business processes and some of the applications that we use to make sure that they're up to compliance, that they comply with not only like the company requirements, but also the requirements that the government sets for us, the requirements that the auditors set for us, and really do a lot of reviewing, document preparation, and just being very detailed oriented. And that's one thing that this position has really taught me, is that even a small difference in a document could completely void whatever we're trying to do. You have to be very particular, very detail oriented, really dive into whatever you're trying to do. So,
what I'm taking from what I'm hearing from everyone so far is it sounds like in your experience, you were given very relevant, meaningful work to do. I think that's a stereotype that some folks hold about internships, is that it's going to be filing and coffee. And I always, there's going to be those low level tasks that are a part of any kind of position, but it sounds like everyone had really engaging and beneficial responsibilities. Does that hold true for everyone for the most part?
mm-hmm.
The big question I think most students have, especially our international student population, who's very engaged and very active in looking for opportunities, is how to find it, how to find the internship. How did you go about doing it? And it's, everyone thinks maybe you just see it in Handshake, and hopefully it is just that easy. But Cindy, would you like to talk about your search and how you came across the opportunity and landed the GM spot, and some of the others, if you'd like to include those?
Yes, so I do have to mention I am a US citizen, so that does make the search a little bit easier, simply because for government jobs, or especially for General Motors as well, they do prefer US citizen candidates. But I am not fully sure on this, but I do believe that they do hire non-US citizens. But actually, at my first internship was for car aircraft seating. So the commercial airplane seats that you look at, that's where I was working on as a quality intern over there. So, if you ever think of American Airlines or Delta, and you see those seats, I probably have worked on one of the seats. Um, but I did want to mention that was my first internship, and I did actually get it through the College of Engineering, through Dr. I want to say Carol Coleman.
Right.
Yes, she has an internship engineering list that she sends out every 1 to 2 weeks. And she essentially, what allows us to do is give feedback on our resumes, and we send it over to her, and it's essentially a recommendation from her. So I think what I really want to emphasize with this point is it's really important to make connections and have somebody preferably recommend you. Especially for General Motors, I was actually part of the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers, and I was actually the president at the time. So we host workshops with different companies, and General Motors actually very graciously allowed us to have a workshop with them for the SHIP National Convention. And just a little bit of a side story at the SHIP National Convention, I did end up going with General Motors to one of their suites, hospitality suites. So it's essentially like getting to know the company a little bit more, but at a more like casual level. So they actually took me to Epcot. It was in sorry, it was in Orlando, Florida, and they did take their preferred like 10 or 20 candidates, and they actually let us go to the park for free. So I thought that was really interesting and really, really fun. But essentially what I'm trying to say is it's really important to network. And yes, you're trying to find that job and you're trying to show that you're competent in your job, but it's also important to make those connections. Some of the tasks that you may do in your internship, they may not seem as relevant or high detailed. But I think I would take that as an opportunity to get to know a person at an individual level.
Yeah, and something else I heard there that I wanted to highlight is your involvement in professional organizations. Sounded like it really came in handy and probably impacted your professional network and some of the opportunities that you saw. Is that fair to say?
That is fair to say. Additionally, I think just being part of an organization, it helped me develop my confidence. As you may know, there's only, I believe, 3% of women in STEM that are Latinas. So I think what I really like about SHIP is they have a SHIPTina program as well, and they essentially help you highlight yourself and build that confidence because it is a male-dominated field. So I think it's very beneficial if you're just kind of struggling to put yourself out there or you don't know how to start that. I definitely recommend joining an organization on campus or even talking to the Career Development Center.
Nice, yeah, nice plug. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. That's pretty slick. Ayesha, tell us about your search process, please.
Oh my God, as David knows, it was a long search. I'm an international
Glad it's a
student.
business.
I don't have a US citizenship, which kind of bit me in the back. So most of the news media companies don't hire international students. They like to hire locally, um, which makes sense. It's a lot of paperwork and all that jazz. So it was a struggle for me to look through like Handshake and for um, positions like journalism and reporting. There are already so less like opportunities out there. It's a really competitive market, and with that, like it was further filtered because of my citizenship. So it was kind of hard, but one of my professors kind of mentioned, hey, there's a Dow Jones program, you might want to apply to it. And then, and I was kind of like, oh, what's the point? I'm not going to get in. And then I was actually working at LMCDC, and one day I stumbled across their posting, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to talk to David about it. And then I'm gonna apply. And I applied, and I didn't have any experience in reporting. I currently work for the Showhorn, but I wasn't back then. So I didn't have any published stories or anything. But whatever I had, they really liked and they accepted. But one thing is that it is a handshake posting, and also like Cindy mentioned, networking is huge, even if it's with your professors, because if I didn't have a good relationship with my professor, he wouldn't have probably told me like you should be applying to like XYZ position. And if David saw a posting, he wouldn't be telling me like, hey, you should look into this posting, you know? So making sure like when you're around your professors, your workplace, you have a good relationship with those people and like let them know vocally, like you're looking for internships, you're looking for opportunities. I think that's one way to like get like good positions and C positions. And another huge thing is having and looking at like what your seniors or upperclassmen did. So if there's an international student who is in the same major, probably, you know, has similar interests to you, like LinkedIn stalking basically, and finding those people and like messaging them and being like, hey, what did you do? What was your method of like finding that internship? How did you get in? Who did you talk to? And finding those people and like messaging them. Don't be afraid to like shoot them a message. If they don't reply, send them another one, you know, in a week's time. Like it's fine. If they don't want to answer to you, they won't answer to you either way. It's like might as well put in the message. So that's how I found my internship. And yeah.
Any other, I know now we're really excited, and Ayesha had an opportunity to preview InterStride prior to us launching that platform. Hopefully that has been helpful to international students. We know we needed that kind of resource. Ayesha and some of other international students that I've been fortunate to have in the office have made it very clear to me that there are a lot of barriers for international students that domestic students don't face, and it's tougher to comb through those positions that are open to CPT, OPT, and eventually sponsorship and those sorts of things. So hopefully that's helpful, has been helpful. Something else that I would mention as a strategy for international students is we undervalue being seen over and over and over, expressing interest in different places, different formats, different times. As Ayesha mentioned, multiple messages in LinkedIn, but don't just message in LinkedIn because that's just text. At least they do associate a photo of you or a picture of you, and they kind of get a sense of who you are. But show up where those employers are, right? I mean, come to the career fair. Com Day was yesterday. If you have an opportunity to meet an employer there, and then you see them at the career fair, and then you've sent them a message, and then you see them at another event, they feel like they know you. I mean, it's human nature. They become more familiar with you. And as an international student, you're asking those employers to invest a lot in you, right? Because it's really costly for them to hire you long term. So they want to trust you, be familiar with you, feel like they know you. If they're going to invest in that way. And I think a lot of times we're so busy we don't think it matters if they see us, or we don't value that FaceTime like we should.
Another thing I want to borrow Sam's story, and Samriddhi was an amazing employee at like student worker at CDC. If they say that they don't hire international students, still apply, still reach out to the recruiters, still show them that you have a lot to offer, and you never know if they'll change their mind, because for a lot of recruiters it's the paperwork that's stopping them. But if you show like you have the skills, in some cases they do accept your position and you might get an offer, so that's pretty cool. And also, yeah, leveraging Handshake and Interstride. Interstride is literally for us international students and domestic students who want to look for work abroad, so that's huge.
Thank you. And Sajan, your story.
Yeah, so I am also a domestic student, so I have a green card. So it was a little bit easier finding a position, especially in the security field, that do sometimes require them to be a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident. But there are many positions out there, kind of in the compliance side or like risk management side, that that hire international students. But I would say most importantly, Handshake is a very, very good tool. My first job that I actually got was through Handshake during my freshman year of college. I applied on Handshake and I got the phone call about 2 weeks later, and I scheduled an interview and onboarded within a week of doing the interview. So Handshake has been a very helpful tool. And regarding my current internship, I definitely would say I got it through LinkedIn. But after I joined, I think Range joined as an Edge partner pretty recently. I want to say like a year ago. They joined the Edge Partnership Program, and now they're also on Handshake. But I got it through LinkedIn, so I would say in my use case, definitely update your LinkedIn profile. Have a professional profile picture, have a good banner, a good header. Make sure you're very detailed in all the positions you've held. If you've had previous internships, previous job positions, make sure the job description and the responsibilities that you did are very, very detailed and very thought out and not just thrown out there. Specifically, my recruiter, he did say he looked through my LinkedIn profile and he said he really liked it. So that's one of the biggest things that really resonated with me, because I did take time to work on it prior to messaging him back on LinkedIn. So definitely LinkedIn. But once I did join the company, I would say, kind of bouncing off of Ayesha's and Cindy's, networking really is very important, especially in the IT field. People that really work in IT are kind of secluded and kind of introverted people. We don't really go out and talk to many people, and we just do our own thing within our own field. So I would definitely say, kind of branch out. I really had the opportunity to talk to everybody on my floor, pretty much everybody in the company. A big thing that Range has is kind of like an open door policy. Everyone's office is open. Everyone is willing to just sit down and talk with you. It's a very laid back environment. I could just on any random day that I'm in the office, I can walk into my VP's office and we'd be sitting there talking about possibly going to grad school or talking about the security field or just anything in general. Just kind of building a good relationship, building a good mentor. And it's really helped. I've really talked a lot with my manager, talked a lot with my coworkers, and especially my VP, who has extensive experience in that field, where I can gain a lot of knowledge for someone that, like I said, I have no prior experience in the IT/cybersecurity field. Really is helpful, knowing about the field.
Yeah, great tips regarding LinkedIn. When I speak with recruiters, they mention LinkedIn as the number one site for sourcing talent. So you want to make sure that you have a presence on LinkedIn. Also, recruiters can access your Handshake account as well. You can create an account very similar to what you see in LinkedIn. I recommend that your Handshake account reflect what you're doing in LinkedIn, because when we have contact with employers and they ask us for things like resume books, we send them to LinkedIn to look for your profile, to look for your resume. We send them to Handshake to look for your profile, to look for your resume. They want to access those kinds of things there. Some employers actually pay kind of a subscription to have additional messaging for students. So yes, you want to make sure that that's tight and you're putting your best foot forward on both of those platforms. And I know we encourage students. Something that I've looked at a lot since coming into this role is, are internships required as part of your curriculum or your academic plan? And in most cases, I've found that they're not, right? So, I'm persuading students to try to find the time or the money, potentially, if you do it for course credit, to do an internship. But it carries a lot of weight when they hear students like you talk about what they've gained from actually doing it. So, Cindy, would you care to talk a little bit about what skill sets or skills you feel like you've developed and which ways you've developed during your internship or what kind of experience you think you have now that you didn't have prior to your experiences?
I think that's a great question. Something that I want to touch on right before I answer this question would be like, for example, UT Arlington, especially in the College of Engineering, you're not required to do an internship to graduate. And especially in my interviews, every once in a while they do ask me like, so tell me something that I don't already know from looking at your resume, looking at your LinkedIn, looking at your Handshake. And I straight up tell them, I'm really excited about the company, and I am actually here out of my own will. I do not need an internship to graduate, and I'm genuinely passionate about the topic and the position that I want to apply.
Nice.
So that can be considered pretty bold, but I think that it shows a lot about my personality and how willing I am to put myself out there. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. Like, don't be afraid to straight up tell them, like, I am here out of my own accord.
Yeah, it's not required. You've taken initiative. That's very slick, very sly, Cindy. Great. It's nice.
Yeah. But for my internship with General Motors, I think what has truly impacted me will be the emphasis on how important it is to communicate with people on the floor, such as operators. Because the way that General Motors is split, there's a union portion and then there's salary typically, or hourly as well, but there's the people that are not on the production floor. And it can be such a big difference when you're trying to accomplish a quality project on just going on the floor and speaking with someone about what does your job entail? Do you have any problems right now? Do you see any direct areas of improvement or something that you would like for me to address? So taking the time to go and talk to people as as people, not just what is your job, because you're more than just your job. So I think that's something that really that I've done before, but it's just I saw General Motors take that at another level, and it's a true emphasis on that. Um, so really like being a people person when you don't necessarily expect somebody to be a people person, especially for engineers. I feel like sometimes we do tend to focus on the details of just the math portion or the technical aspects, but especially in a collaborative environment, you do need to take the time to talk to someone and understand their values and their concerns. So making sure that you understand what's the expectation from every party, or in other words, like stakeholders, if we want to make it sound fancy. Um, so I think that's something that really stood out for me and something that I do see General Motors value.
Thank you. Sajan, what do you think about specific skills that you took away?
Yeah, so like I previously said, definitely critical thinking skills. So especially within cybersecurity, everything's very very detailed oriented. You do a lot of reviewing, you do a lot of document preparation, and you do a lot of out of the box thinking. So even right now, I've been with the company for almost a year and a half. My manager really let me have free reign on how I take about this auditing. She just said, "Hey, just review all the documents that need to be reviewed. Make sure you speak with the auditors, what needs to be done, however you want to communicate." And she just let me have free range over it. So it really gave me like a lot of freedom to how I want to take, the approach on how to complete the auditing season, how to complete the auditing task. So it really allowed me to create a workflow, create some automation stuff that I could do to, send out the requests, review the documents, communicate with the auditors, and really just make things a very smooth operation. But on top of critical thinking, definitely knowing about the cybersecurity field and especially oil and gas. So oil and gas is very, I want to say, kind of a different industry than a lot of people might think. It's still very back in the day, very old-fashioned in some of the things that we do. So, implementing something so brand new like cybersecurity into oil and gas, there's the differences. There's certain things that cybersecurity might entail that people from the oil and gas industry might not be familiar with or might not want to do. It's like the different way of work styles and different way of how you approach things. And definitely, being in that industry and also being in the oil and gas industry, you have to learn how to work around that, how to, talk to people on how to improve on the processes that they've normally been doing for decades now. So definitely a lot of people skills, a lot of, new cybersecurity skills that I can implement within, the oil and gas industry, and just really think critical thinking skills, cybersecurity skills, and really just outside the box thinking.
Yeah, interesting to hear you both talk about people skills, communication, kind of team building types of skills. Obviously critical, when you're interviewing for a full-time position. Folks want to know that you have that sort of ability. Ayesha, what would you say you took away, or what area did you most develop in as part of your opportunity?
Well, I learned a lot of skills, especially with like editing and writing and interviewing, all that jazz. But what I want to really stress is like with the internship, I learned a lot about like the journalism work culture, like how people interact, like drinking is a huge thing, like, going out for drinks and like networking is a huge thing. In like the journalism world, that's how you get your source. You get, like, or just having just random lunches and like coffees, just talking off the record is a huge thing, just to like get to know your sources better or your workers better. And that's how you get scoops, and that's how you get like story ideas from, right? So networking is huge in the area. And sometimes it might like block you from, because like I don't drink, or like, I don't smoke and things like that, but you can still find ways around it. So that was huge for me, like knowing how he's writing me up.
You know what note? Do you know what note I'm taking? You know what? So to get your scoops.
Scoop, go out
Yeah.
for drinks.
Well, I mean, I'm so happy you brought that up, because I think sometimes we're afraid to talk about that topic, right? And I've heard so many young professionals struggle with that adjustment. Do I do this? Is
Yeah.
this something I participate in? Is this going to be a smart thing for me to do? Am I going to move ahead in my career? It's tough. That's really tough, especially in a situation like yours where you might not drink, right? So how do you
Mhm.
participate and build? Because what you're trying to do, I'm preaching to the choir, because this is what you were doing in your roles. You're trying to build
Yeah.
that relationship, build that trust, build that credibility,
Hmm.
and then you have to potentially say, nah, I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for bringing that up. I'm sorry, please continue.
No, yeah. So like that's a huge part of like work culture, and especially when you work in like a communication field where it's people oriented, you have to cater to like others' times and needs, and it doesn't necessarily run on your schedule. It runs on other people's schedule. Like I've had to wake up like 7 in the morning because that's the only time a source was available. Like, and I've also had to work after hours because that's the only time sources available. I was telling this to David one time. Like I had an interview in Dallas. Like 30 minutes later, I had an interview in Fort Worth, and the traffic at like afternoon is like crazy. But like that hustle, like, and that work culture is real, and like it's never something you're prepared for sitting in a classroom. Like, and like you're never prepared to do that. You're never prepared to like go out there, and like you always think like, oh, I need to be professional. But like and I enter like the bullpen, like the newsroom, and all I'm hearing are like cussing on the phone, and like, like just yellings and stuff. And you're just not prepared for that, because in your mind, a professional field has to look a certain way, and that's what your professors tell you, that's what everybody tells you. And you go there and it's like a cultural shock, and it's like, oh wow, like this is happening right now. So I think that's something that I learned, to be like more casual in the workforce. And especially because I'm an international student, um, I had this really uptight manner of like, okay, that's my home life, that's my private life where I can't show character, and here's my work life where I have to set that apart. And didn't know how to really communicate my needs or anything like that. And internship was a really good stepping stone for me to learn those things without actually getting to like face many like repercussions of like not knowing them, because I'm an intern. Like you could get away with a lot of things because you're an intern. So it's a big learning space for you. So for me, that was really huge. So more than like skills that I picked up, that's learning the work culture that I picked up from my internship is like, I think, the most beneficial thing that I've gained from the internship. So going into like a full-time position, I will know I'm better prepared at least to like navigate my world.
Yeah, language is another great example. What we're taught is professional language when you get in some settings, especially I'm going to use GM as an example. I've worked in factories and industries and in manufacturing and been out there on the floor, and the culture and the language and that sort of thing is a bit different than maybe what you're used to, or what you're training for. But it's so important to understand, and I think part of defining being professional is being able to read a room and see, it's situational, right? Because you use that language in front of the wrong folks, you hurt your credibility. So you've got to understand and again, that's a great example of a challenge for a young professional trying to navigate, that kind of thin line. Cindy, I know we've talked about the fact that you've had multiple internships, so obviously you've been fabulously successful, in those roles. So I was curious what recommendations you'd give to UTA students to help them make the most out of their internship to be successful.
So I just want to say thank you for the compliment. So I think for me, the way that I would like to kind of emphasize this is a lot of the times when I used to be president for the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers, people will come up to me and be like, make my resume better. Like just like that.
People come to us and
And
say that too, Cindy.
and the way that I like to think about it is, do you want a good resume or do you want a good career? Because if you are passionate about your career, or at least what you want to go in the general direction, then the resume will naturally follow. And that's kind of why I bring this up, because it's the reason why I've done so many internships. It's because I generally didn't know what I wanted to do as my first job. Industrial engineering, that's part of the reason why I picked it, because it touches a little bit of everything, especially in General Motors. Typically, the way that the plants are split up is by three major categories, which would be body shop, paint shop, and general assembly. So then that's common knowledge of the General Motors plants. And what I like about quality is that you touch a little bit of everything. And the reason why I bring this up is I think it's really important to take the time to understand at least the general idea of the topics or the departments or the people that you directly work with, and understanding that at a personal level, at a technical level, and at an interpersonal level. So what do I mean by that? Like, for example, especially in General Motors, I did have my direct manager, and then there's the quality director. So then I would get to know my quality director at a personal level, like, how's your weekend? How's everything going? Are there any socials coming up? But I also have to understand he's in charge of the really big quality concepts, such as like quality alerts or quality gate defects. So then that's like the technical portion, which is he takes care of the really important stuff. And then at an interpersonal level, which is what are his expectations for me and how can I ease him to understand that I can handle that responsibility. So I think it's really important to understand what are your needs, what are your expectations, and how can you align those with whoever you need to talk to. So yeah.
Thank you. Other tips for or advice for making the most of the internship and being successful. Just going to open it up. Awkward wait time. I'm watching the mute buttons. All right, there we go.
So I'll kind of go off of that. Again, definitely something that you could really focus on is really networking, especially with the Career Development Center. Especially now, there's a lot more companies that are joining the and a lot more companies that are taking advantage of the UTA students that are graduating. UTA has a very broad, very diverse pool of candidates that they could pick and choose from. And, we go to a university that, is tier 1 now, and we have very great professors that, prepare us. A good example that I can give is actually, one of my management capstone classes, the professor went over this part of the lesson, and it specifically had to do with the what, how, and why part of a case study, and how a business can improve its process. And I won't lie, the following week, I had an interview with Ernst & Young EY, and the case study went over the what, how, and why portion of what we learned that past week. So a lot of what we learn, especially in our upper level classes, really translates to the field that you want to go into. So I would say definitely, if there's any freshmen or sophomores that are watching this, like, push through. The upper level classes are really where you really get to choose what you want to do. Really focus on what you really like. Make sure you choose a major that you really want to do. But at the end of the day, just making connections, networking, meeting the right people, getting your name out there is very important. So
I want to go off of that a little bit. Um, So basically, like whatever major you're in, there's something in the university that you can be doing without like looking for outside internships, like to get that internship, like as a journalism student joining the Shorthorn, as a broadcasting major, perhaps joining UTA Media or UTA Radio, or if you're a marketing major, getting into a CDC's marketing department or, the Edge team are the Showhorns Edge team, sorry, the marketing team, like there are so many avenues for you to like kind of do an internship to get to your internship, really. So like that's a huge thing. And also like research, we have a lot of research on campus. So if you're a psychology major or a biology major, you can be joining a lot of research centers under professors, which will also help you in grad school if that's something that you want to do in the future. So that's really important to first look within your university and find an avenue to help you get that next step. So yeah.
Thank you. You guys have been great. I'm gonna one more question I'd like for everyone to have a chance at answering, and then I'm going to open it up to see if we have any student questions. None have come through the comments or the chat at this point. Students, remember when we open it up to questions, if you want to unmute and turn on your camera, you're welcome to. If you just like to unmute, we'll give you that awkward wait time to do that. Let's see, Cindy, I'll send this one back to you first. What do you wish you had known? What do you know now that you wish you had known before starting the internship?
That's actually a really good question.
Thank you.
So the one thing that I would highlight about General Motors is they were very gracious and very considerate by the moving stipend that they offered for me. So if you are relocating, most companies, at least Fortune 500 companies, would give you a stipend for you to relocate. And I was under the impression that General Motors would give you that stipend, and some of that portion would go into already specified like building. Like I thought they were going to provide our living situation for us, such as because that's what I understood from people that have done the internships before, which is another point that I would like to make, which is if you're thinking about accepting an internship offer, just go on LinkedIn and try to find people who already done the internship, and maybe you can get some feedback on them and how can you progress, or what was something that you wish you could have done better, or something that made you stand out while you were doing the internship. Um, but essentially, what I wish I would have known is that I had to find housing a little bit earlier than I would have thought, and that's because I didn't read my stipend agreement as well as I probably should have, which is read your paperwork and make sure that you know what you're signing. Because it mentioned it in my offer. It mentioned how much I was getting for the stipend, but I didn't read the terms and conditions essentially. But I ended up in a good place because I picked an apartment that was like 10 minutes away from the plant. So it worked out eventually. But yeah, I guess the two main points that I'm trying to hit is make sure to communicate with somebody who's done the internship before, if you can find someone, and try to see how can you make that experience a little bit better for you to stand out more. Because if you stand out, then you're more likely to be invited again. And then making sure that you understand what your company is offering, such as, are you going to be a salary employee? Are you going to be an hourly employee? Are you going to be an employee or a contractor? Which is a whole another section that I think could be a panel in itself. But essentially, like, understanding what you're getting yourself into. So yeah.
Thank you. Sajan, you want to take a shot at that one?
Yeah, definitely. I would say, kind of bouncing off of Cindy's as well. Really, what I wish I would have known is kind of getting to know more of the employee culture there. I was under the assumption, due to my previous job, I was under the assumption that things were going to be kind of fast-paced, cutthroat. But really, and it was completely stark difference from that. Everything's pretty laid back. It's pretty work-life balance is amazing. Like I said, I work from home. I work 3 days a week. I work from home 2 days a week, and I go into the office one day. The work-life balance is amazing. I really wish I would have known that beforehand. When going in, I kind of was blindsided when I went in my first day, and people were just outside just talking, and they had their office doors open and everything. And I also was under the assumption that as interns we would just be placed in the cubicle. I didn't know that I would get my own office as well. I walked in, I'm like, oh, this whole thing is mine. I was like, okay. And so definitely, I wish I would have known kind of the company culture, and how laid back, most if not all companies within like the IT field are. So I would say anyone that is looking to get an internship or even a full-time offer, really just look online, read up Reddit forums, read up LinkedIn posts. Glassdoor is very helpful. It's free. Just create an account. You can read up what the interview process was like, how their upper management is, how their executive team is, what the work-life balance is. Sometimes even if it's a more established company, the employees will provide what their benefit packages were, so you can really get an idea of what you're like Cindy said, what you're getting yourself into, and really kind of get an idea of how the company functions, how they value their employees, and how they just go about their normal operations.
Thank you. Ayesha, you want to bring us home on that one? Anything that you wish you'd known, that you learned?
A
I forgot
lot
the
of
question.
things actually.
Okay.
One thing the main thing I wish I did was like prepare more for my internship. I picked journalism very late into my college career, so I was junior when I decided I wanted to add journalism as a major, and that's really what I want to do. So I was really brand new to anything journalism. I knew I liked writing, I knew I liked talking to people, I knew I liked interviewing and like researching and all that jazz, but I didn't really understand all the segments and parts in journalism, like the different beats and different markets that I can go into, and the different jobs even within, like your beat and things like that. So I wish I had done a little bit more research going into it, and then kind of understanding what I like, exploring a bit more and doing a bit more reading on it, and like preparing myself before I went into it, rather than just going in and everything being thrown at you and being like, oh my God, what have I put myself into? Like it worked out at the end. But just like how fast paced like the journalism world moves, every day you have a new story, every day you have a new thing to chase after. And it's most like, for me this wasn't the case, but most places have 24-hour deadlines, so like working on 24-hour deadline is stressful and like things like that. I just wish I was more prepared to go into an internship. So yeah.
Yeah, and time management is a great point. I mean, most of our students, are involved in a lot of activities. Anyway, a lot of things going on campus, and there are a lot of events on campus to take advantage of, to devote 15 to 20 hours a week, or something in that neighborhood to an internship, can be challenging, especially in the fall and spring. So that is definitely something you want to plan for and consider. Maybe a little different in the summer, if you don't have summer courses and you have the time to devote. But yes, you definitely want to give that some thought. Great points. I'm going to open it up to any of our attendees who would like to ask a question that we've not covered with the students. And we'll start the awkward wait time now. Feel free to either click the mute button. You can bring yourself up on camera if you like, type it into the comments section. Told you it was awkward.
I can't see the chat box if there are any questions.
I don't see anything. I've not seen anything in the chat. We'll give it just a couple minutes. And if we don't, I say minutes, couple seconds, we get a couple more seconds to see if anyone wants to send anything. And then I'm going to, have you add anything maybe that you'd like to address that we haven't covered, and we'll kind of close things. Going once, I don't know if anybody's ever been to an auction. Going once, going twice. We don't hear anything from anybody. We're going to start to wrap things up. Oh, yeah, question.
Actually, not a question, but thank you so much for sharing the experience. Yeah, it's so helpful for us.
Really, very, very much appreciate that. Thank you so much for taking the time to share the kind words. We appreciate it. This has been a great group. And before we go around and let folks close with any information maybe we haven't provided, I want to throw a special thank you out to Lasta Marjan for putting together this panel. Great group. Thank you all for your time. She's our Mavs Edge program facilitator. She had originally hoped to help moderate this panel, but she did a fantastic job of organizing the event and getting everyone prepared. So thank you, Lasta, for that. Anything that anyone would like to share? I'm just going to open it up before we close. We've got about 4 minutes. We've not talked.
Sorry. Connect with me on LinkedIn if you have any questions. Do shoot me a message or an email. My LinkedIn is my name, Ayesha Hana Shaji, and it's the same picture, I think. Maybe it's changed. I'm not sure. But definitely send me a message if you have any questions. I am free to talk to you.
It's a great networking move, Ayesha. If I have your permission, I will put your LinkedIn URLs in the student communications that go out weekly, so students can connect with you there if that's okay. I assume you prefer LinkedIn than email. But if you're open to email. I
definitely prefer LinkedIn over email just because email is work emails usually. Good. Yeah.
Awesome. Anything anyone else would like to add before we wrap it up?
Kind of going off of what Ayesha said, you guys can add me on LinkedIn. I think I put it in the chat box as well. Okay. If anyone wants to contact not only just me or, the CDC, definitely contact the CDC, definitely if you want to learn more about like internships or whatever. But if you have any questions on like the oil and gas field or cybersecurity or like how you should even go about it, I can try to help you and see how can get your foot in the door, especially in that new space. So
thank you again for your willingness to network. It's so critical. Everyone's brought it up. Everyone has mentioned how important it is. It's so critical that if you are a bit introverted, that you kind of break out of that shell a bit and get more comfortable introducing yourself to people and take folks up on opportunities like this to connect and make them part of your network, because you never know where where it's going to come from, where you're going to hear about a job opportunity, who it's going to come from. Cindy, anything? I feel like I'm leaving you out. Anything you'd like to say before closing?
Connect with me on LinkedIn.
There we go. What? Like we ought to be throwing out IG handles and everything else, like an influencer. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Sorry, cut you off. Go ahead.
It's all good. And then I would say it's really important to show initiative. And I would say the word consistency and competency, which is just really big words to say. If you're gonna do a job and you need help, go ask for help. Nobody expects you to know everything as an intern, and you are providing a service, but they're also providing a service for you, which is learning. And if they want you to stay at the company or they want you to learn and they expect and they see potential in you to be in the company, then it's okay to ask for help. So really, really like that's the way that I would put it. It's okay to ask for help. It's important to be professional too, but you're also a person and you also need to communicate with people and make sure that they know that you're a person too. And I feel like sometimes in manufacturing, I have never seen this in General Motors so far, but I have been in other manufacturing facilities where sometimes people do forget that you're a person and that you have feelings. So I think it's really important to be nice, be kind, and if you're going to take on a task and you need help, go for it, but make sure that it gets done.
Great points. Ask questions. You're not expected to know everything. If you are brought into a role and you don't ask questions, if I brought you into a role as a new staff member and you didn't have questions, I would be concerned. I would think you're not engaged, that you're not thinking about your work and your responsibilities. Questions are a good thing. Well, thank you all again. Thank you for folks for attending. Thank you, students. It's been a pleasure. Fantastic experiences. Thanks for sharing your time. Please remember to check the links and the information in our comments section if you want weekly updates for internships. We'll get those in your email. Just give us your information at the link. Best of luck to you all. Best of luck this semester. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey,
Have a
guys.
good day.